We are on. It's me and Dr. V. It's good to see you all. Thanks for coming. This is our normal Wednesday, 5 o'clock. We weren't on Sunday because I was cruising around down in Florida. What weather, but it ended horribly watching our great Ravens in action. And then, of course, it was even better watching the Eagles the other night in overtime. So thank you for coming. We're going to be going on tonight. You've seen our description. We have people coming from X, which is nice. We've really started having some followers on X, so we appreciate you. Now let's get on to business. What's happening tonight? And remember, we are an opinion group. That is who we are. Spartacus, I assume you're there. I'm not looking. We love you.
He is here.
He's the man. This is an opinion a live stream. This is opinion, whatever you want to call us. You call us a lot of names, but we are giving you our opinions based on facts as we understand those facts and then move on from there. If we are presented with facts by the Mosh Pit or anyone else that shows the facts that we understand are not facts or have changed, we are more than glad to recognize that and roll and make change to our opinion as we go forward. Very important. Okay. Let's get right on to, I want to hit this fast and then we're going to come back to it. I was going to talk economy first, but Joe, we may be at war. I'm starting to wonder if we're at war. Trump just picked up a tanker outside of Venezuela. Did you know that? Yeah. He just picked up, I didn't want to tell him. So Joe and I talk ahead of time. I don't give him all the stuff I'm going to talk about, but this just happened. They picked up a tanker and Trump talked about it in his presser with the press, the media, just maybe about a half hour ago. And he says there's more going on. The biggest tanker of all time that was taken. The absolute biggest tanker, he said, of all time. Are we at war with Venezuela?
Wait a second. Where was this tanker? This was
outside of Venezuela, and it's outside of Venezuela.
So what did he confiscated the tanker?
We don't know. All we know is they took it over.
They took it over.
Have we confiscated it? I don't know what we've done, but we've taken it over. And this is the president. Everybody sits back, goes, yeah, let's take out narco terrorists. And I've been jumping all over X saying, hold. Where's the evidence? Where's the proof? Everyone can't be, okay? And then why the cover-up with this double tap? We were going to talk about that. The Republicans just rolled over after talking tough. They're hiding the video. Why are they hiding the video? It's just like the reason they hid the Epstein thing. They got to make changes on it. But are we at war? That wasn't our. We're going to get into the economy. We're going to talk about how the interest rate got cut today and whether or not it was hawkish or dovish. We're going to go there. But you have the president authorizing the American, was the Coast Guard, pick up a tanker, a Venezuela tanker outside of Venezuela. And I'm getting nervous that we may be starting a war. And where does that lead? Has anybody ever heard of Korea? Has anybody ever heard of Libya? Has anybody ever heard of Vietnam? Has anybody ever heard of Iraq? Has anybody ever heard of Afghanistan? Where does this go? It starts with a little. The president goes, yeah, it's the right thing. These guys have nuclear. These guys are going to hit us. This is that. This is America first? Yeah, this is America first taking the first hit. I mean, this is more than drugs. This is us swinging and going after him.
So what do you think he's after, the oil?
He could be. But I'll tell you this. He keeps saying he's after this peace thing he wants, this Nobel Peace Prize. Why does he get a Nobel Peace Prize for starting a war? And where are the Republicans? I want to see these guys actually stand up. Here we go again. Look, it's just happened. I'll bet you all the Democrats are totally against it because number one, they're going to be against anything Trump does. But at the same time, they're against starting a war. And where are all these? You'll have Rand Paul, a couple others. But we could be starting a real war with Venezuela. And the question isn't, can we win or lose? The question is, what are we doing? What are we doing? Okay? It's like cheering for the Vikings. You can't win, Joe. You can't win. So here we are. We're starting a war. You can't win the war. Vikings can't win their games, and we can't win a war. And because you can start taking them out. But what are you going to do? You go in, you're going to try to take over the oil. You know, there'll be guerrillas from the area coming in and starting with you. There'll be dissidents and people. It's not our country. It's not our country. So as we keep going, a president of peace, he's a different, maybe there are those who say president.
It's Venezuela.
There are others who say PIECE, a different word as we go along. But, you know, president of peace of. So you go on and you wonder of autocracy. So you go on and you wonder what's going on here. Are we starting a war? Let's get to the economy. I have to assume he's doing this to get away from the economy, Joe. I have to assume he's doing this to get everybody away from the economy. And if he could get the oil, why not? Didn't George Bush think he could get the oil from Iraq?
Right.
I mean, wow. Yeah. Okay. Let's look at some things that just came out. Consumer Edge. We're getting into the economy here. We're in real trouble. Let's talk about where we've been going. The Fed just came out today and cut the interest rates by 1/4 point. Remember, it's only short term. Yet the long-term interest rates, which we have been yelling about since January, February, March, really March, have not been going down. They haven't been going down for years. The 10-year, which is what affects the mortgage rates. And that's why mortgages aren't going to go down. But he dropped it another 1/4. It may affect a credit card or something like that. But where are we? He says that it's, you know, the economy's kind of okay and the unemployment is getting a little softer, and he didn't seem to worry about inflation that much. And then he said, you know, we're open, we'll see what happens next month to cut. I can tell you this. 2 months ago, I said on here, the day that the Fed chairman cut it 2 months ago and was hawkish, I said he's going to cut it. Joe laughed at me. A lot of people laughed at me. Month later, when everybody on TV said there's no way it's going to be cut, Joe was saying, oh, we put down this little wager that we did, and it's not looking good. Should we cut and run? I said, no way. Just don't talk to me about it. Right on now, the difference is we can now cash in today. Right, Joe?
We did.
We did. Now, the question is it going to happen again? Oh, yeah. Everybody's saying it ain't. I think that if he sits back in January and doesn't cut the interest rate, people are going to go crazy. But understand, it's really interesting. You had 4 governors, I think, who did not want to cut it, but aren't sure. And you have others. The problem you got is this. This is going to end up being what we've talked about, but it's just taking a whole lot longer. It's going to be stagflation. Because what's going to happen is when the Fed chairman leaves, I think April's his last one? That's only 4 months away. We're going to get a guy who the president has said, when I tell you to cut interest rates, you're going to cut interest rates, right? And the guy's going to go, yes, Mr. President, yes, Mr. President, yes, Mr. President. So when that happens, as you keep forcing down interest rates, long-term rates are going to be going up because inflation is going to go up because you're going to be forcing it down, forcing the interest rate down. So inflation starts going up because people, it's cheaper there to borrow, but the costs will keep going up and up and up because that's how it worked. That's what happened in the 70s. It's not like that right now. We've been saying it's going to, I've been thinking it's going to be like the 70s. It hasn't been there yet, but it's going to be like the 70s. And that was horrible. Inflation up, everything up. Everything. Employment wasn't. Everything. Even the stock market didn't do that well. So get prepared. We are in real trouble. And this is what's going to happen. Yeah, we're cooking. Yeah, we're cooking right now, right? We're cooking. It looks great. Affordability isn't an issue, but this is the problem. January, everybody's health care who's on ACA goes up 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, something like that. They're not going to be able to afford it. So many people are going to lose their health care. And all you hear are and this is politically what I think is going to happen, are the Republicans are going to get smashed because all they're going to keep saying is nay, 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 nay. And it's, we need to do this. We need to write a check to the people. Let me tell you, who are you writing a check to? And who are the people going to go to? Are you going to go up and negotiate with United Health for yours? Are you going to go and negotiate with Humana or Aetna or one of those? You can't do it. You got to be in groups. You got to be able to move. Individuals, it's such a joke that people who are not even going to have the money to be able to possibly even afford health care are going to be told, yeah, take that money and pick your doctor. And if we give you $2,000, good luck. I mean, how much money are you going to give people? $2,000, $4,000, $6,000, $8,000? How do you determine how much money they're going to need? It makes no sense. It's not going to work. Meanwhile, we don't have a cushion where the people who are used to the ACA and have health care are going to lose it, and it's going to roll, and you're going to have a lot more angry people. Horrible English. A lot of people are going to be angry. That's better. And at that point, you talk affordability. Affordability goes through the roof. It's horrible. It gets worse because we got that K. Joe likes to talk about the K, and we hear about it all the time. It's our economy. The rich people have the upper part of the K. The middle class and the lower have lower part of the K. Let's look at these numbers. Consumer Edge, which tracks transactions from more than 100 million debit and credit cards, found that people with incomes of over $150,000 for the Black Friday and Cyber Monday, their purchases are up 3%. For people that are down, that are $40,000, their sales, their purchases are down 2%. Last year and the years before, it was the opposite. People on the lower end of the rung had confidence, they had some money, they'd be able to go in and weren't worried about the price and could buy it. This is the first year it's happened in so long. So the K is getting worse. The lower and middle income, you can't, as you know, they're falling behind on their payments. And then you have that the people, the billionaires are living good, making zillions. And we sit back and go, what's going on? So affordability, you got a president. Did you hear him last night? Because this is the point we're going to get to. Did you hear him? Is he okay? Is President Trump okay? He gets out there. I actually listened. I couldn't listen to all of it. I turned off the Fox after a while. But he gets up there and talks about everything and then says affordability, it's a joke. And he says it's a hoax because the Democrats did it. Well, inflation's been going up for as long as I can remember, Joe. It's just a question of how fast it goes up. And what he doesn't talk about is, remember when it went up to 9.2, it had come down to 3, and that's where we are now under Trump a year later. And What Mr. Trump also forgets to talk about is that the years before it went up to 9.2, he was the president of the United States, and hundreds of thousands of people died under him as president of the United States. And the economy, he was ruining people's lives at that point. So, of course, when we shut down, he shut down the economy. He shut down the economy. The president of the United States, Fauci worked for him. This was all on Trump. So when you look at this, when we came out of it, people wanted to buy. We're on record. We were saying it when it was happening then. People wanted to buy, which just pushed up prices because everybody wanted to do things. And then it started coming down. But today, the Fed chairman said, well, prices are going up because of the tariffs. The tariffs, he said. I haven't heard him say it before. He said it 3 times. And he said it's going to be, he didn't use the word transitory. He calls it a one-time thing. But then they talk about how it compounds and how it doesn't go down. And that's what people are forgetting. You go in. So people who are feeling horrible are going in and going, I'm buying this stuff. And I go through the grocery line and I get like really bummed. And then I look at the East Wing getting built for all this stuff. I look at billionaires coming in and dropping millions of dollars into the pockets of the family of Trump. And I go, why isn't anybody helping me? Why am I out there? And we haven't even talked about the food stamps that are going to be yanked because people are going to have to file applications for them again. So now you're going to have people who don't get their food stamps, don't get their SNAP. They don't get insurance. They're not going to have the money. They're already behind. They can't even consider buying a house, let alone keeping the payment going on rent in their apartment. And Joe, we got a problem. And now it looks like we're going to war. And we got a president who sits there and goes, there is no affordability problem. It's great out there. It's great. Everywhere I go, and I'm President Trump. Everywhere I go, it's great. I don't have to pay for anything. I don't have to worry about driving. I don't have to worry about going to the grocery store and knowing anything. All I have to worry about is taking care of myself and my buddies who are getting millions and billions of dollars in and making my family wealthy. I wish it was my family. It isn't. Making his family wealthy and running with it. And at the same time, trying to take our minds off of it by, I think, starting a war, Joe. I think what Hegseth did had to be bad. He wouldn't have hidden everything. Another cover up, another cover up, another cover up. But what are we going to do here if we are going to war and we got a president who says and swears up and down, we are okay? Now, what did you hear how he graded himself? A++++, 5 of them. I don't think he's okay. I think we have an 80-year-old, and I'm no doctor, and I sure can't say. I think we got an 80-year-old that's taking us backwards. It's called Devo. We've been talking about this for a while. De-evolution. No longer going forward, going back. But a great album. Please get this album. Are We Not Men? We Are Devo. You'll love it. That's not our album of the week, though. Our album of the week, I'm not going to say what it is. I put it up fast. It'll be coming back later. I don't know if Joe saw it. Joe loves this album, and he will be jumping up and down when I put it on, but it ain't. So we look at this. He talks like everything's great, like everybody is like happy, like people go everywhere and life's good. I think he's delusional. I think he's gotten to the point because all he does is lie. You heard him. It was like so crazy with the double tap. Forget whether or not you think he should do it. At Double Tap, they asked him, will you be willing to release the tape? He goes, the video, I think he goes, I don't see anything wrong with releasing it. Yeah. 2 weeks later, he says to the reporter, you're ugly or something like that. And then what he called Miss Piggy. And he said, I didn't say that. I never said that. And then you go roll the tape and there he is saying it. So I'm wondering if these lies are just a problem. I'm not a doctor, but this guy is almost 80 years old. He's having issues, and I think we have a problem. And I think this old guy is leading us down a real path. He's still telling people only buy $2. Did he tell his grandchildren they could only have $2? I bet you the Kushner grandchildren get plenty of dolls from Grandpa Trump, right? And from all the rest of them. And the other children, the other Trump children. So you sit there, you go, Joe, we got a problem. I think this guy he's just jumped the shark like Fonzie did. I think he's jumped the shark. I don't think anybody knows who Fonzie is. I think he jumped the shark. And I'm really worried about it. And I think you see this, he's like leading us to war. Now just commandeering ships. What do you think, Joe?
Well, yeah, I mean, if he's commandeering ships and there's no declaration of war, that does not sound right to me. Is he going to claim that the ships are carrying a lot of contraband or something? I don't understand.
He'll say that like ICE. Just like ICE never arrests Americans. Just like ICE never puts Americans in cars or puts them away for 3 days and refuses to accept that they're Americans. And then they lie about why they locked them up. Yeah. ICE lies, like Trump lies. It's becoming endemic throughout this entire administration. And you got the head guy. I'm telling you, he ain't there, Joe. I'm not asking you for a professional opinion. He doesn't give them. But, Joe, this ain't good. When all you do is lie. This ain't good. Do you have an uncle that's like this? Did you ever have one? You had in the corner, and no matter what he said, you kind of liked him, but went, I really can't believe him.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people don't take Trump seriously anymore in terms of what he says. He makes up numbers and he says a lot of outrageous things.
But he wants you to take him seriously, and that's the difference. So I'm saying, before a lot of it, I think he knew, just my thoughts. I follow this guy big time. And I'm only throwing it out because I want Joe to kind of, if he could focus me for this. I need his help on this thing. I always thought that, like last term, and years before, he did a lot of this to just because he was thinking about how he could get people worked up, thinking about how he could get his people together and all that. I'm thinking it's gone over all these years. It's almost become such a repetition that it's not a thought anymore, that it's just natural. And these lies are just natural, not, well, I'll say it because I know the reporter will get pissed or something like that. And at 80 or almost 80, I'm thinking we got a real problem. That's how I'm throwing it out to you. And you can say, Mark, you don't know what you're talking about, because I don't. But I'm just giving you my thoughts on where it is right now.
I think his primary problem is he has a style in which he needs attention all the time. The problem with that is you get used to certain levels of attention and you need more and more of it. And he's stuck in a vicious cycle where he has to do something more and more outrageous to get that attention again. And I think without anyone holding him accountable, we're seeing the natural consequences of someone who is doing everything desperately to get attention. I mean, in the course of 1 week, he gets a fake award from FIFA for peace.
Which
you predicted, absolutely, you predicted,
before, right?
Absolutely, put his name on some peace building, and then he hosts the Kennedy Center honors. I mean, how much attention does a human being need? How much ass licking does he need before it's enough? Most of us, we like a compliment now and then, but we're satisfied with that. But for him, when he gets these compliments, it just fuels the need for more and more of it. And I think he's just completely out of control because no one has put any limits on him. And so I don't know what's the next consequence, that he wants to take over all of South America and call it South Trump land or something. I don't know what else he needs to do to fill that need that he has for people's attention.
He wants power. The power is the Monroe Doctrine, so he could sit there and have the North American, South American, let Russia have Europe and do whatever they want with Europe, and have China and part of Asia, and let China have Asia, the rest of Asia, or the major parts of it. That's what it is. To him, it's strictly a power structure. That's all he understands. That's why he loves Putin so much.
But to what
he's giving Ukraine to Putin.
Yeah, to what aim is he doing these things? What is the motivation for it? It
allows him to have his power here. You don't see the Russians over here. You don't see the Chinese over here. He says to them, I take care of my hemisphere. You take care of your hemisphere, and I'll see you later. We'll be buds. This is 1984. You read Orwell.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking that. It was in like 3 different countries.
Right. We're Oceania.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. That's what this is. People have never read this stuff to understand it. That's where he is with this. He wants the power here. He can say it goes down the Western Hemisphere or your American, whatever, and run with it. And that's what he's trying to do. And part of that is getting the oil. And part of that is telling he's going to hit Cuba next if he does this. And I sit here and I don't understand. We go to war so often, and we always say after the war is over and we've lost so much treasure and blood, we go, we've learned, we'll never do it again. We always say it, right? Now we got an 80-year-old guy. I don't care if the MAGAs like him or not. He's an almost 80-year-old guy who's taking us into war again. He's taking us into war, Joe. He said it's even more than that. Now, you never know. You can't believe when they asked him, well, what else is anything else going on after he told him he took the oil tanker? A lot more. But that's him, okay? Who knows? But he's taking us into war. Why?
That's a good question.
Lose. In the end, we lose. That's the bottom line here. And the Republicans are rolling over to them. In the House, they're not looking into this double tap anymore. They gave up. They said they got a call from Marco Rubio. Great, you got a call from Marco Rubio. Tremendous. Another little tuchus kissing. I mean, here we go again, okay? The Congress doesn't stand up. That's why the supines on the Supreme Court don't care, because they know this Congress doesn't get mad. They say, yeah, we just give more power to the president. We give him immunity, the supines, because here we go. he can do it because Congress doesn't care. That's what's going on here. You can see it with those. You have the lower levels of the judiciary coming up and saying this is wrong, this is wrong. Even Trump appointed guys, but it moves, okay? And now we got a real problem. Now we got a real problem. They used to say dump the hump. They said that when Hubert Humphrey was running, remember? And now I'm here, dump the Trump. Is that kind of what the No Kings is saying? I like No Kings. But he's basically saying dump the Trump. You can't. He's president. I mean, he's not going to be dumped off the ticket. He can't run again, so he's not going to be on the ticket. HHH Humphrey was on the ticket, but he won. He kept going, and he beat McCarthy, and of course RFK was assassinated. But you look at this politically, we are stuck with this guy. We are stuck with this guy for a while. Yeah. Yeah. But what are you ready to send your kids to war?
No, absolutely not. I mean, this is excuse the term, a trumped up war. And, it satisfies some ego need that he has. I don't see where it's in our national best interest or economic best interest. It's just to feed the guy's ego. And you're right. Why are people not sticking, holding him accountable? And, it goes back to the voters. If the voters, say that we don't want this anymore, then they'll vote in Democrats. And then if the Democrats take control of the House, then you'll see some guardrails go up.
Look, we've been saying that for a while, but people still need to talk more. People need to keep talking. You were asking me months ago, what are we going to do? I said, we just have to keep talking. You just have to keep talking. But to go to war? Look at this. Who's this? Burger lover? I'm happy you like burgers. Who's a coward and a traitor towards America? Who is? Who are you? What's the word coward? Burger lover. Burgers are cool. And traitor. What's your definition of traitor? I want to hear what Burger has to say so we can answer that. Because just throwing verbs or adjectives around don't do it.
Trump is the answer.
Oh, here it is. Trump is. That's not what a traitor. Traitor and cowards. You said we're traitors and cowards, Burger.
We can scissor each other, huh?
Yeah, great. Yeah. Really impressive. Great lines. I wish
brilliant minds.
Honest we've had over the years are normally so much better than these guys. Give us the good stuff. Say, here's a fact. Here are the facts. This is what's wrong. This is what's right. Trump is the answer. He is the answer to the question of who okayed commandeering a Venezuelan oil boat. Okay,
is this what people voted for? I'd love to hear from some of our MAGA friends and tell me if this is what they really voted for.
Noah's taken us to Jupiter. Jupiter is a beautiful. I assume I always like to see the picture of Jupiter up there. I used to always know our solar system: the Sun, Mercury, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and they don't count Pluto as a planet.
That's supposed to be the 8 planets. Did you say Venus?
I forgot Venus. Venus, Earth, right? Mercury, Venus. I said the Sun. I went Sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, and Pluto doesn't count anymore.
There you go.
And they tried to change Uranus because of what Uranus sounds like to Uranus, but that sounded just as bad. So it's still Uranus, right? Hey, gig. So Trump couldn't get 50% of the vote. He didn't get it there. His voters, but let's understand, and I'm with you. I think the voters are different now. I think people have seen him for a year. Part of what we're saying is that it's not working for him. Before he could go out there and get everybody on their toes and say everything's great, everything's looking good, but people know it isn't. People know they're paying money. People know they're in trouble. People know they're not getting insurance. We're just kind of going over. Here's a fact. Okay, here's Burger. We're taken over by non-Americans who are now seated in our homeland. By non-Americans who are those non-Americans? Another big name, another big word. Non-Americans. We've been taken over, or what's it? Allowed the country. So we were overtaken by non-Americans. What's your definition of a non-American? Are people who are here on green cards? Well, they're not Americans, but how about first generation? Let me ask you this, Berger. I'm interested in this. I'm with Pluto also go. I'm going to ask Berger. Berger, would you consider birthright part of who those people are as Americans or non-Americans? How about that? Pluto, I'm with you on that, Go Fish. Let me tell you something, Berger. This country is so great. This country is tremendous. For you to say that this country is bad, you are lost and you must be from outer space.
Well, I still want to hear his perspective.
He
So
can
is it?
do it. He can do it. But look, we take a position here, and we have taken it from the beginning, and I'm not backing off. This is the greatest country in the world. This has been a great country. I've lived in this country many, many years. Probably longer than you. So is Joe. It's the greatest country. There's nowhere else. If you don't think so, go where you think it is. Tell me where it's a better country. Hungary, Russia, China? Tell me. If you think that's better, go for it. Venezuela? Right on. Argentina? Let us know where it's better. This is a great country. Trump's not doing anything for this country that hasn't already been done in good things, because he hasn't done many good things. What he's doing is a lot of bad things and taking us back to devolution. Okay? Clock is right. Broken clock is right twice a day. That's it. We're coming to talk about this country. Talk about our great country like that. Oh, how horrible. Horrible? Tell me what country you want to go to, and then let me know how it is when you go there. Joe, go ahead. I'm sorry I get mad. People think it's horrible. You're here, you're having a good time. Or they don't live here, and it's a bot. Go ahead, Joe.
Well, again, I'm curious to understand what goes behind that message. Are you referring to immigrants? Are you referring to legal, illegal immigrants? Or basically, are you referring to people of color versus people who are Caucasian? Because sometimes that's what I hear. It's sort of a nod to real Americans came from Europe and non-Americans came from other countries. So, what are you referring to? Who you can answer Mark's question? Who's a non-American?
Well, he came in. It was we're the greatest country, but it got worse. It hasn't got worse. Gotten worse. It hasn't gotten worse. And angry and bitter. I'm angry at what the president has done to our country. That's correct, Berger. He has destroyed, he has taken apart our judiciary, lying about it, going after judges who do their job. He has the supines in his back pocket. He is just rocking and rolling, putting people in jail, having ICE buy their own jets, becoming a super billionaire just by being president of the United States, taking cash from everybody. Walking grifterino. I mean, what are we talking about? Okay. No, he isn't. He's horrible. Angry? You better believe I'm angry. Bitter? No. And my time is ticking. I've been around for a while. I'm happy I've been around for a while. Joe has too. That's why we have a really good idea about what's happening. We have experience. We have seen it and vote in a lot of elections and understand and know our country and love our country. So I'm going to leave it at that. Berger, you're okay, but sorry, I just can't go for anything else. You're just too busy just hitting. You still haven't told us one good thing Trump has done. I'll tell you something good. He shut down the borders. Got no problem.
Yeah, you're not going to get a debate from us on that. There was a time when we were letting too many people in the country illegally, and it overwhelmed our ability to handle them, and it affected the southern states, and then people were exported to northern cities, and it overwhelmed the northern cities.
Overwhelmed everything, and Congress once again did nothing. Go Fish, I'm with you totally. Let me tell you, Berger, I pay taxes. Let me tell you, if you have been watching us for a while, you would appreciate what we've been saying. We have taken the position on immigration, and I say it to everybody because to me it's so important. Joe and I have said this from the beginning, that America, to come here to be able to have those rights, that's the soup. Our Equal Rights Amendment, our Constitution, what it stands for. And the different people that come in are the spices that make the soup taste really good. But the bottom line is that our immigration system stinks. And it stinks because Congress has done nothing about it. We have taken the position, Joe and I, that the people who have been here, who've been in line to become citizens, should be super fast getting in there, who've been in line and become citizens. Okay? What's the holdup? They should have been. Excuse me. Secondly, those who have been here, those who have been working, those who have been paying in their taxes, those who have been paying in their Social Security, and they don't get that money back. They don't get those benefits. They just get to live here, to be able to do all that and have raised families that are good. They should get green cards and should be able to find a way to get in line to become citizens of the United States. The DACA kids are not kids anymore, but DACA should be able to do it right away. And then those who are illegal, who are violent and doing things that are against the country should be flipped. We've been that way all the way, Joe, haven't we? That's where we are. We believe in immigration, but Congress has refused. This is Congress's fault. And if they want to roll to Trump or they want to roll to Bush or they want to roll to Reagan, Reagan was good with it. He wanted real immigration. If we have that going, we'd have a good immigration policy, things would work, but we don't. We don't. And therefore, we have a president who is the president of disunity, who is making everybody point and saying, it's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault. We got a great country here. We just have leaders, quote unquote, who are horrendous and refuse to stand up and do what's got to be done to keep people together and keep this country moving.
So Berger makes the point that we dump on Trump, but we don't talk about how bad Sleepy Joe was and horrible Obama.
Because we don't care. That's yesterday. I'm living today. You know about my time ticking? If you want to go back, Burger, and look at our live streams, why don't you look at our live streams during the debates? What did we say about Biden then, Joe? Why don't you go, you see, Burger, we did talk about Joe. We did talk about Obama. We tell you, I have just going to Just an American Citizen. Please look at it at YouTube. I go back 10, 11 years. I talked about, I really liked President Obama. I did not like his foreign policy, and I had issues with it. Go back and look. We did talk about it. We talk about what's going on now. It doesn't work. I mean, if people want to throw everybody else under the bus, we'll go in with it. You'll hear me talk badly about Trump. But when I talk about Trump, I've said for years, and what we've said about Biden and Obama, we said for years, go back and look at that. I don't care about what they did. I only care about what's going on now. What is going on? We got a president who's leading us into war. We have inflation going crazy. We have no answer for health insurance, and we have Americans who are going to get smashed with no health insurance. We have Americans who are going to go hungry. It's just not good, man. We got tariffs. He put the farmers under the bus. How many times did we talk about the soybean farmers, Joe? We talked about it for months. He was throwing them under the bus. The tariffs were killing it. The Chinese weren't buying anymore. The Argentinians, were selling and undercutting them. So Trump puts taxes on, which are tariffs, and now he's taking those taxes, which made our farmers get in trouble, and he's giving money. He's giving the money back to them. Oh, I broke it. Now I'm going to give it to you. And the money you'll never get back because they had issues. They had investments. They had things they had to do. So no, I don't like Donald Trump. I don't think he's done a good job. And I really think at 80 years old or almost 80, he's in bad trouble. But you want to hear what I said about, or what Joe and I said about Biden? Get on Just an American Citizen and feel free. And while you're there, please subscribe. And at the same time, answer those. I mean, see what you didn't like about those.
I mean, Burger makes some points, and Go Fish is making some really excellent points too in the chat.
Go Fish.
Burger says that even though it was ancient history when they were president, that the problems that they created are present today. And so a lot of things Trump is doing now is to address those problems. And we could, okay, so let's look at it. So one would be immigration, and Trump is addressing that. Now, one could say that he's being over aggressive in his immigration policies, but I guess Berger would say that sometimes you have to be a little over aggressive to make the point. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I guess
no, because I don't believe Berger agrees with arresting Americans who say they're Americans and try to show their ID, and they're thrown into holding cells. These aren't police. I can't believe that Berger wants Americans thrown in, and there's proof that all these people are coming out and saying it and showing it and proving it. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, so you can let me know if you feel the way he's addressing immigration is the way you would want to see it addressed. And I would say that he's gone overboard, and he's hurting people who are innocent. And I think rational people can come together and say, yes, we need to do something about controlling illegal immigrants. Number two, anyone who is here illegally and doing harm should be removed. But we might disagree on if
yes, Joe, it's yesterday's issue. You're falling too much for it. I love it. Look, burger, okay, go fish. I'm totally with you on all this stuff. I don't care about yesterday. I don't care. It's all there. Berger said he's going to go and look. Go look, Berger. Thank you. You won't agree with me on a whole lot of stuff, but it's all there. My history's there. I don't take it down, and I respect you for saying you're going to go. Thanks. We'll go.
Well, I'm gonna extrapolate a little bit from what Berger says.
But talk about
you
today,
can tell
Joe.
me you can. I'm gonna talk about today.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. I think Berger represents a lot of people in this country who feel that things are going wrong in this country, and it's been going wrong for a long time. And one of the things that seems to be going wrong is income inequality. That I've talked about it before, the K-economy, where certain people are doing great and they keep doing better. They were doing better under Biden, and they're really doing supercharged better under Trump. And there are a lot of people who are struggling, who find that the world is not affordable. The country's not affordable. It wasn't affordable under Biden. And to be fair, under Biden, there was a period when the interest rates were very high and inflation was over 10%, 9 or 10%. And that's much higher than it is today. Now, we could argue that it was high because we're coming out of the pandemic and a lot of money was pumped into the country to avoid a terrible depression, which it did. But one consequence is it helped fuel inflation. But people might say, and again, I don't want to put words in your mouth, Berger, but there's been a consistent pattern over time that has not been addressed by any president in 20 years to address why people are working harder and seem to be enjoying it less.
More than 20 years.
Then they look at certain people that are doing fantastic.
Under Clinton, they had a balanced budget in 1996.
I said 20 years, not 25 years.
20 years. That's 30 years.
Yes, 30 years ago, we had a balanced budget. That people would say in Clinton years, there was some equality going on, and the budget was balanced. We weren't having a deficit, and things seemed to be better 30 years ago. But the past 25 years has not been that case. And we've been fighting stupid wars, spending a lot of money and not getting very much back. And I think what you're saying, Mark, is that we don't want to get stuck in that pattern again. We've tried that experiment in Vietnam. We tried that experiment in Iraq and Afghanistan, and it didn't work. The people don't want to be controlled by a foreign country.
No, but the problem we've got is by rolling back, but you see it's all changing. Go Fish makes the point that we don't have, what was he saying here about, we really don't have any friends. What he's doing is, which is the truth, this is something we've been yelling about. I've been yelling, I called it the end of the American century. Go on there, Go Fish, on the Just an American Citizen and see it. Joe and I would talk about it. I have videos up for years talking about the end of the American century, because you could see how we were letting our friends kind of disappear, go their own way, because we were so rich and doing so well, we didn't care anymore. And then we have Donald Trump come in, who is an autocrat, has an autocratic way and loves the autocrats, and that's the truth. And now we have Europe on their own. We have no friends. We have no allies. Nobody trusts us. The only one who trusts us is Vladimir Putin, who he and Trump are like this, and you can't get away from it. That's what they are. They're brothers from another mother. I can't say any other way. I don't know what's going on. And because of that, we're losing all of our friends in Europe. We're going to lose our trading partners. We have lost a lot of friends in Asia. Japan can't trust us. Australia's not going to trust us. A lot of them aren't going to trust us anymore because of President Trump. because he doesn't care, because to him it's all money. You either pay me or you're out. Or if I don't like you, too bad. Zelensky, you're a little punk. I don't like you, you're out. Ukraine, who cares? Europe, who cares? That's where it is. That's the facts. I don't care what happened before. Obama and Biden believed in the American, what I used to call the American century, and they stood up for it because being number one was the way to be. We're not number one anymore. We're now looked down upon. Nobody really likes us. Nobody trusts us. We have no friends. We've been yelling about this. I've been yelling about it for years, and Joe and I have been talking. Joe and I, if I have a problem, I know I can go to Joe. I've known Joe 50-some years. He's my friend. He's my buddy. He's my brother. Joe could call me the same way. You don't have that. Donald Trump doesn't have that. The United States used to have it. We don't have it anymore. And he has just taken it apart and destroyed it. And that's horrible. And after taking our friends apart, he comes in and stays here and he takes everybody in America and rips them apart and says, you're bad, you're good, you're piggy, you're this, you're that. And he is the leader of this total disunity, which is going all the way to the birthright, which we haven't gotten to, which talked about before. But the Supreme Court's going to be listening to that argument in a month. And think about this: if Trump gets that power, if birthright gets set aside under the Constitution, and they say it's unconstitutional, then where are you born? Then who do you decide? Then do we have a country any longer? Do we even have a country if the supines roll over? And that's where Trump is going. He is tearing our country apart. Bitter? No. Angry? Yes. Angry that more people aren't standing up? Yes. Angry that MAGAs aren't standing up? Yes. Because this guy is chomping on everybody. We either stand together or we stand alone. I don't care what happened yesterday. I'm only caring about what's happening now and tomorrow. And it doesn't look too good. And wait till the Republicans get smashed with the health insurance. I mean, you can talk all you want about fraud. They're going to look bad when there's no health insurance. And they're going to look bad when people aren't eating and there's going to be lines for food. They're going to look bad. That is political reality. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm not wrong. I'm hardly wrong on this stuff. Wrong sometimes. Joe gets to be sometimes. But I'm not wrong on this stuff. And that's where it's rolling. And people don't see it. And that's where it's tilting. And that's going to make people even more unhappy and more yelling and screaming at each other. And man, but that's our president. Yeah, I blame him for it all. Go ahead, Joe.
I mean, I'd like to talk to Berger. It sounds like you immigrated into this country. And I would ask, what brought you or your parents to this country? And it probably was the promise that the country was free and gave you the opportunity to make a better life for yourself. And that was predicated on the notion that the judicial system was free and honest, that you couldn't buy your way out of stuff. And if you were poor, you still were given a free shot. It was probably predicated on the notion that if you worked hard, you could make money and be successful. That it didn't depend on who your father was or what your father did for a living, that through hard work and perseverance that you could make a good living for yourself. It was probably predicated on the notion of citizenship, that we work together, that if there's an issue, that we come together and find viable solutions. And our history was that when we didn't agree on something, we would compromise so that we would be on the same page and come together as a country to defend ourselves. And I guess what I'm concerned about is that we're losing all those good values that probably brought you to this country in the first place. And I think a lot of people are feeling that we're not free anymore, that the judicial system is stacked, that if you praise the right person, you get off. If you criticize the wrong person, you wind up going to jail, that the economic system isn't working anymore, that it doesn't matter if you work hard, that certain people get ahead based on what they look like or who they know and not based on what kind of job that they could do.
And how much money they give and how much they want back for favors. Look at all these guys he's pardoning. Look at all these drug guys he's pardoning. He pardoned Cocaine Juan on a 45-year. He just pardoned another drug trafficker. And these are guys found guilty by juries, 12 Americans, that for some reason Trump doesn't like juries. He heard this. He heard that. He didn't hear what the jury said, who sat there. I believe in our system. He didn't hear it and sit there with 12 jurors and make a decision, hear the facts. hear the testimony and know he knew nothing. All he knows is who's laying it out, who's coming in, whose buddies are getting it. That's all it is. It's horrible. Our American system is busted right now. We can come back, but it's busted. And the supines will not stand up against them. I'm really worried about birthright. I got to believe there. There's two that will always vote with them. So that always puts you in a problem right away. And that would just split this country up in birthright. But we'll be back to that. But that's where we are with this. And I'm telling you, Go Fish is cool. You're right about it needs to be smoother. And I'll tell you this, all those questions, I took the citizenship test and I passed. Have you tried to sit the new citizenship test, Joe? I like most Americans to try it. I bet you FLUNK, flunk. Okay, I love it. That's kind of, I didn't flunk, but I was really hurting in bio and chem and stuff. That's the stuff he just sucked down, just would look at. Joe didn't care in college. That's the stuff he could do. Me, I was the other stuff, English, history, poli-sci. But Joe, woo, and it ain't easy. You better know some of that stuff. Yeah, we're not teaching history to people anymore. That's why people don't love our country anymore, because they don't understand it. I'm going to tell you this. I've been watching the revolution. You can't watch it for 2 hours at a time on MPT, on public television. I'm sorry. It's too long. You pass out. And I love it. I'm a history major, double major, history, poli-sci. And I know a lot of that stuff. And I've been learning a lot. So I cut it off in an hour. I had a good one. And then you go back. It's much better that way. Start learning about America. Start learning about the good and the bad. Because it's the bad. You don't know bad. You don't know good unless you know bad. Okay? Stuff like that. It's just, wow. George Washington, genius, great leader, the father of our country, and enslaver. A guy who would, when the Hessians came, which were the Germans who were hired by the British to fight us and kill us, when we took out the Hessians at Concord, he said, don't hurt them. Well, it's Canton. I'm sorry, Canton. Don't hurt them after they took them out, put them in prison. They may want to become citizens one day because they have been taken advantage of by their emperors in Germany. Yet he knew that was wrong, but he had no problem enslaving others. Okay? It's wild. People always seem to have an excuse when they know something's wrong to do it. I'm sure you see it. I've seen it for so long. People come in and talk, well, Mark, I did it because you knew better. Well, that's much heavier in slavery and stuff. But you watch this and your mind is boggled at how these people thought of all this stuff, yet ignored others. You have to learn bad to understand good. And our history is incredible, bad and good, but it comes out one step back, 5 steps forward. And that's where we go with it. And Trump is trying to take us back there. Putin, he's just an autocrat. And that's why Trump likes him so much. Joe, where are you going? That's why we're going backwards. It's called devolution. Backwards, becoming snails with little tails. The music is great, but what can I tell you? Joe, I got to calm down a bit. I'm getting really worked up. I'm going to come up with an album. Joe's going to be smiling. We always give you album of the week or it's album of whatever. I don't think Joe's going to be with this Sunday, so you'll be watching just me. So I'm really going to blow out with some stuff. I'm going to come in with music and some real stuff, but this album is one of the best albums of all time. After the Gold Rush by Neil Young.
Another Neil Young.
Another Neil Young. How great is this album? The first side, everybody knows every song. Tell me why. After the Gold Rush. Only love can break your heart. Huh? Southern man, feed your head till the morning comes. Oh, everything.
Very classic.
Don't let it bring you. Don't let it bring you down. When you dance, I can really love. He still plays that, okay? And let me tell you, Neil is the goat, Go Fish. And let me tell you something. On this album, you had a guy that Joe and I love, Nils Lofgren, who we saw twice at our college. He was Grin. Grin came out of Bethesda. I love Nils. I saw him at Pikesville Senior High so long ago when it was a scene. Well, yeah, when it was new. And we had all this. But who else was on here? You had Stephen Stills. And you had Crazy Horse. It was just starting to come together. Nils was part of it. What an album. Look at Neil. Look at Neil Young. Happening, just sitting back. could never stay with the group for too long because he was just so talented and had to do his own thing. Neil Young, what a great album. Anything by him I love. Most of the last album. But after the gold rush, and I'll tell you this, think about Neil Young when we think about Donald Trump. Old man, look at my life. I'm a lot like you were. Okay? You look back and learn. Our guy doesn't. This guy does. Old man came. It's not on this album. But what a great song. What a great song. What a great song. And let me tell you, you got to put on the music. You got to lay back. You got to go, all this is jive. Enjoy it. I was on the plane, Joe. And they, Wi-Fi is free. Wi-Fi doesn't work. So I ain't doing it. So everybody's watching movies and stuff. I'm just listening to music. I was listening to Volbeat, Metallica. I was just going crazy. I blew over to the Talking Heads. I brought in the Kinks. I'm just listening, just going through all the stuff in my library. Music, you feel it. It's your soul. It's your soul. We're video, but dogs, they get down and sniff. We got to get down and listen. Joe, what are you thinking, Joe? Joe, what are you thinking, Joe?
Well, Neil Young is great. I heard him recently at the Farm Aid, and he still has a strong voice and strong opinions about things. So
he looked great. He's always been on Farm Aid, and he used to raise money. I think he had 2 kids with some chromosomal problem or something, and they had to go to the special school, and he would raise money for the school. Neil Young's cool. I just love Neil Young. To me, he may be one of the greatest rockers, one of the top. You don't want to put him in numbers, but one of the top 5 rockers of all time. I mean, I'm not saying John, Paul, George, Ringo. I call them just the Beatles. But I mean, just Neil's right up there. He is incredible with his music. He just did things. Wow. And he believes, and he's still out there playing. And man, I saw him. I lost count 6, 7, 8 times. My wife and I would go zillions of times. I saw him with Jan Hammer and all these guys. Neil Young is so great. You guys listen to him. And let me tell you, he had these great mutton chop sideburns. I had them. I had hair. I was so hairy. I didn't want to take off my shirt. People look and laugh. Who had hair? I was so young. But man, it was great when you had them sideburns. Everybody changed. He can grow sideburns. Oh, yeah, I could. It was great. And I could sing Neil Young songs. Just sit and listen and enjoy it. Learn it. It's so easy. It's so great. It's so tremendous. Whether it's country, whether it's blues, whether it's rock, this guy is outrageously tremendous. Joe, I'm talking from there.
Yeah, and music helps bring people together and helps express feelings and motivates people. It's a good thing.
It's the greatest thing, and people don't understand. You hear music anymore, it's all background. It's all elevator music. People ever just sit down and listen? We used to sit down. We didn't talk. We would just listen to music, right? And in between the songs, we'd say something. Maybe yell at each other a little bit as we're partying and doing everything. But basically, we listened. People don't listen anymore. Just like when you talk, people don't listen when you talk. We knew how to listen when you talk. That was always the best part. People would say, Mark, you don't listen. I always listen. That was always the best. If they don't think you're listening, you should always listen. You're a million steps ahead of everybody. But the music, I just go like this. Joe, I just got, Joe, what am I going to do with that this Sunday, Joe? Look at that face. I'm going to miss that face. What do you do? What are you doing? Why are you going to miss us, Joe? What are you missing Sunday?
I have brunch with my grandkids to see Santa. So that trumps Trump.
That does Trump. That's a Trump. That's a 5 Trump. Okay,
Yeah,
I see right with that. So what time is that going to be? Is that at 11? Is it 12?
Right at 11? Yeah, unfortunately, it's right at 11.
When do you see Santa? At the beginning?
And no, after the brunch. Some people during the brunch go out and he sits in a big throne in the other room, and you go there. You tell him what you want for Christmas. You get your picture taken. It's a good thing.
I can tell you, the only time I ever remember being able to tell Santa I wanted something, because that wasn't in our house, really. And I told him I wanted something. And you know what I got?
Socks?
Charcoal.
Charcoal?
I was told, you got to get your grades up, and I got charcoal.
Well, now you'd get anything you want. You deserve anything from
But I
someone.
appreciate it. During Hanukkah, I got some stuff. But Christmas, I got the charcoal. It was that's a bonus. You didn't earn that bonus.
You didn't earn the bonus.
That's a bonus in our household Christmas. Charcoal. Yeah. It couldn't even have been potatoes. I could have roasted them. I love potatoes. I could have done some charcoal. Charcoal.
Yeah, that's not for the good kids. No.
Did you ever get charcoal?
Never got charcoal. No.
Did you ever get like potatoes?
No. I would give my kids oranges in their stockings.
How about you? What did you get? Did you ever get like told Santa said he wanted?
No. Whatever I wanted, I would get. Usually it'd be science fair stuff,
God.
chemistry sets, stuff
Ugh.
that I really wanted.
I'll take the charcoal before that stuff. Are you kidding me? But that's why this man is so good. That's why this man is so smart, and that's why I love this guy. I just love
The model rockets. That's what I really love.
got the model rockets. Not me. I don't even remember what I wanted. I didn't get much because when you're at the end of the year and you're considered an end of the year birthday and everything goes, and you're just like
What day is your birthday, Mark?
I ain't telling you. It's coming up though.
I know it's coming up.
Coming up. It's coming up. It's coming up.
We're going to have a special birthday show.
Well, we will have a birthday show that day, and because it'll be my birthday that day, so it comes up on that day, so that's a ways off. And then I'll be as old as Joe, and I will have circled the sun as many times as Joe has. Everything else good though, right? Let me tell you something. This is the fun. We're going to leave y'all. This is just great seeing my friend. Have friends. Enjoy your friends. Never let them go. Love them. Tell them you love them. Tell them they're dirt, but you love them. Tell them they don't know what they're talking about, but you love them. Tell them you don't care what they look like because you love them. You love your friends. Differences here. This guy's got a good mug. Look at this. This is just mug of mugs. This is 5 mugs. So I've been stuck with it. People say get plastic surgery. I don't think it will work, Joe.
No, you don't need plastic
It's worse.
surgery.
Number one, it hurts too much. Number two, look, you know what I would look like? I probably look like, I don't know, probably an anteater or something. The nose would come out further. Everything would be done. I'm not going to do it.
Unnecessary.
It's not necessary. Either way, guys, just do it. Remember, only love can break your heart. And that's the way it is.
Period.
I will see you Sunday. Joe may even type something in. Enjoy, Joe. Everybody enjoy. We have a great holiday. Rock and roll. We'll see you then. I'm going to be coming in on fire.